Hi everybody, my name is Helen Portas and my company is called Limb Yoga, and I've been asked to offer something for you as part of your Wellbeing Week. So I hope you're enjoying all the activities that have been on offer for you. This one is a yoga practice designed to really stretch everything out. Can be really used at the end of a busy day when you're feeling a little bit tense or tired. To stretch everything out, maybe to re-energize at the end of a busy working day. You might need a little cushion. I've got a couple of flat yoga cushions there, but you can use anything, a cushion from your sofa or maybe a rolled up blanket that can pad up underneath your knees, or you can use it just to sit nice and tall and upright if you feel that you need a bit of support today. So that's all you need. Let's get going. So we're going to start on the mat, lying down. So making your way onto your yoga mat, making sure you've got some space in front of you and some space behind you. And we'll start just by bringing your knees in towards your chest. Maybe settle the back into the floor and just have a little massage from side to side, or a circling of the knees. Just releasing any tension that might be residing around your lower back. Maybe if you've been on your feet all day, this is the first time you've had an opportunity just to release. And then we'll allow the feet to come down to the floor. We're going to walk the feet a little bit wider apart, maybe towards the outside edges of your mat, and then the inside of your knees knocked together. We'll bring one hand to rest on your lower belly. It doesn't matter which hand, and the other hand, just to rest on your chest there. The elbows can rest on the floor. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. And just begin to bring your awareness now to your breath. Just laying aside the elations and the frustrations that the day might have brought you. And just waving goodbye to that to-do list that might remain for the rest of the day. Really commit to giving yourself this time, this well-deserved time, to focus on no one else and nothing else but yourself and your practice. So as you use your breath to really anchor yourself into that present moment, just becoming increasingly aware of the movement of the breath beneath your hands there. And you might notice the breath is moving that upper hand. Maybe it's sitting more in your chest. Or maybe you can feel the breath down in that lower hand resting on the lower belly. Just over the next few breaths, just see if you can balance that out. So the breath is really swelling into the space beneath both hands as you inhale, and then allowing that softening back towards the spine as you exhale. So that expansion as you receive the breath on an inhale. And that contraction as you release the breath with every exhale. We'll just take a few more breaths there, just getting the body ready for our practice, transitioning, bridging that gap between the busyness of your day and your practice, just with these opening few moments. An opportunity to check in, see how you feel this morning, this afternoon or evening, whenever you're choosing to do this practice. Just acknowledging any tightnesses within the body, any issues or injuries that you might have to pay particular heed to. And keeping that awareness with your breath, just relax the arms down alongside you, and you might even still feel that residue of warmth from your hands. Palms facing up towards the ceiling, just begin to wiggle your fingers. And then just take a turn through the wrists, all circling through the wrists. Really nice if you've spent a little of the time over a computer keyboard just to cool the wrists. Take that through the opposite way, just a few circles. And then we'll make a fist, just bringing your fingers in towards your palm, little squeeze, and then spread the fingers nice and wide as you open your hands. Do that a couple of times, so we squeeze into a little fist, And then stretch the fingers nice and wide, just once more. Lovely. And then bringing the arms all the way down alongside you. Just turning the palms down towards the floor. Lengthen your fingertips away from you, so feel a little space between the bottom of your ear and the top of your neck. And on your next inhale, let's float the arms all the way back above the head. And you can have your upper arms alongside your ears, or if that feels super tight today, take the arms out in a generous V shape, so your back of the hands can touch the floor behind you. And just take a breath or two there, enjoying that sense of breathing into the space above you, the space behind you. Feeling the chest and the belly rising and falling with the breath. Let's take one more inhale there. And as you exhale, bring the arms all the way down alongside you, palms facing down. With the breath now, 4 more times. Inhale, float the arms all the way up and back, spreading the fingers wide, keep the hands nice and active. And then when you're ready to exhale, the arms come all the way back down. So we'll do that 3 more times, really gently sinking in that movement with your breath. Opening and expanding on an inhale. And bringing the arms down alongside you as you exhale. So as you do that twice more, trying to marry that movement with your breath. So top of the inhale, back of the hands touch the floor, and the bottom of your exhale. Hands reach down alongside you just once more. Inhale. And exhale. And when we've all met with the arms down alongside you, turning the palms up towards the ceiling. Just slide the arms a little bit further away from you. You can keep them quite close to the body, or you can bring them up level with the shoulders. Just open through the chest there. Just feel the shoulder blades sinking heavily in towards the floor. Point both knees up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we'll drop the knees over to the right-hand side. Just feeling that right buttock relax. And if that's pulling on your knees, you can always just bring your knees a little closer together there. You might just pick up your head and turn your gaze over that left arm. Head rolling in opposite direction to knees. Just noticing where you feel that movement in the spine. Then on your next inhale, bring the head and the knees back to center. And as you exhale, the knees drop to the left and maybe the chin rolls down to the right shoulder this time. Relax that left buttock. Keep the chest nice and broad. Keep breathing smoothly. Maybe this side might feel a little bit different. Going to move in that twist with the breath. So as you inhale, everything comes back to center. And exhaling over to the right, maybe head turns in opposite direction. When you're ready to inhale, everything comes back to center. And change direction as you exhale. As you continue, you can keep the arms where they are. I like to bring my arms back above the head, resting one hand on top of the other. Gives me a little bit more space. And you might even try just pressing your hips in the same direction as your knees, so you get a little bit more stretch across the hips, maybe a deepening sensation of twist. If that isn't working for you, or if that doesn't make any sense, just focus on tipping the knees from side to side. I'm going to do that once more to the right side with the knees, and once more to the left side. And then coming all the way back into center, walk your feet hip width apart now, heels quite close in towards the bottom. And we'll bring the arms down alongside us once more, palms down. Inch your index fingers towards your heels, lengthen out through the neck. And we'll start to come into an easy bridge. So as you press down through the feet, just tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling and begin to peel the spine up. Just until you come up into that position no higher than between your shoulder blades. Keep pushing down with the feet and just make sure the knees don't roll out to the side. Little magnets on your inner knees, drawing them together. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, wheel the spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. Tuck of the tailbone under. And then as you inhale, press down through the feet, peel the spine up. Again, keeping the chin tucked in, just coming up between the shoulder blades or maybe lower. And then when you're ready to exhale, see if you can create a little bit more space through the back of the body as you lower down with control, twice more. So really pressing into the
balls of the feet, just making sure that you're not lifting your toes, so you feel really grounded through all four corners of your feet there. Let's do that once more. So we'll come up and hold now in that little bridge. So it might be quite low down, you might be up a little bit higher. And those of you up a little bit higher might be able to tuck one shoulder and then the other underneath you, so you can interlace the hands underneath your back. We push the hands down, little finger edge of the hands pressing into the floor, seeing if you can get a little bit of height through the hips. Again, make sure the knees don't roll out to the side, keep the knees tracking forwards. It's quite hard to breathe and talk here. Every inhale, you get that sense of just blossoming the chest, a little closer up towards your chin, lifting the hips a little higher. And then we'll all release the arms down alongside you. You might want to lift up your heels and with control, roll yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And when the back reaches the floor, let's bring the right knee in towards the chest. Giving a little hug, a little squeeze there. Seeing how that feels. And then just using the right hand, left hand might come to left hip or the floor. Just start to circle that right knee. Might be big movements, might be small movements. Just stirring that knee round in whatever direction feels comfortable to you. Brilliant. And then we'll bring the knee in towards the chest. This time holding on around the back of that right leg, interlacing the hands around the back of the thigh as you take that leg up towards the ceiling. Knee might be quite generously bent, or you might be able to straighten the legs some. Soften the shoulders, relax the face. As you circle that right foot a few times each way. It's warming up through the ankle joint. Just make sure that your chin hasn't suddenly shot up towards the ceiling. Keep the neck nice and long. Just make sure you take that movement in both directions. And then we'll flex that foot and stretch the leg up towards the ceiling. A little moving sequence now. So reach both arms all the way back behind you as you did before. As you lower that right leg until the heel just hovers off the floor. As low as feels comfortable. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the chest and maybe your nose towards your knee. As you inhale, lower the head, reach the arms back, extend through the leg. And then as you exhale, knee to chest. Nose to knee. Lovely. Let's do that twice more. Big inhale, spread the fingers as you stretch out through the leg. If you want to keep your head on the floor and just give that knee a squeeze, feel free. Last time, inhaling, reaching and lengthening through the arms, stretch out through the leg, and exhaling, rounding up. We're going to keep that knee to the chest. You can keep your nose towards your knee or lower the head, choice is yours, as you take that right leg once more up towards the ceiling. And you might extend left leg out in front of you until the heel just hovers off the floor. Lovely. See if you can lift up a little bit higher. Remember, you can bring the head down and keep that left heel on the floor. Lovely. And then lower the head, lower the shoulders. Give both knees a squeeze. And maybe have a little massage out through the back. Maybe roll the head side to side. Just get rid of any tension. And then we'll try that with the left leg. So right foot comes to the floor, left knee to chest. Just using that left hand, come into that little hip mobility as you circle now the left knee. Again, it really doesn't matter which direction you take the leg. Trying to keep that right knee pointed up towards the ceiling. Big movements, small movements, whatever feels comfortable. And then when you bring that knee to the chest, we'll interlace the hands around the back of the leg. Hands quite low down towards the bottom to support the hamstring there. We'll extend that leg up towards the ceiling. Take it nice and slowly. Knee might be generously bent if the hamstring feels tight. As you circle off that foot. Oh, interesting clicks and musical accompaniment from my ankle. You might find the same. Few circles each way there. Lovely. And then flexing the foot, you might even begin to press the back of the leg into your hands, and your hands resist, just creating a bit more space in the back of the leg. Ready for that little moving sequence. So as that left leg lowers, you reach both arms back. Back of the hands might touch the floor. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, knee to chest, and maybe nose towards your knee. When you're ready to inhale, reach the arms back, stretch that leg out. And exhale as you squeeze everything to center. Let's do that twice more. So if you're lifting your head and your shoulders, just making sure that you're keeping that space between your ear and the top of your shoulders there. So slide the shoulder blades down the back. Once more, inhale. And we'll all meet with that knee hugged in towards your chest. You can keep the head on the floor or nose towards me. And we'll re-extend that leg up towards the ceiling. The hands might be a little higher this time. And you might want to extend that right leg until the heel hovers. You can keep the foot on the floor. It really doesn't matter. Working to your level. And then slowly, slowly bring the head down. Bring both knees in towards the chest. With one hand on each knee. Just widen your knees, cross your ankles, and circle the legs round so you're having a little massage across the lower back there. A few stirs each way. And then change the cross of your ankle and the direction of your circle there. I'm pausing now. We're going to come up to seated. So you can always just uncross your legs and just roll onto one side and then join us. If you want to get a little bit playful, keep the ankles crossed, hold on behind your knees, and use momentum to rock maybe up and down a couple of times until whoop, you come into a comfortable seated position. Lovely. I'm just going to cross my legs with one shin in front of the other, but if that's not comfortable for you, stretch the legs out in front of you. And this is when some of you might want to pop yourself up on a little cushion or a blanket, sliding them underneath your sit bones. And find a little bit of lift up through the chest. Bring the fingertips to the floor alongside you. Press down with the fingertips, lift up through the chest. And then pressing the palms up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, reach the arms all the way up. You maybe lift the gaze. And as you exhale, press the arms out to the side with the wrists flexed, fingertips point up towards the ceiling there. When you're ready to inhale, palms up, reach up, lengthen through all four sides to the waist. And as you exhale and push the palms away from you, reaching out through the arms, fingertips brush the floor. Once more, inhale. So really use that inhale to lift and lengthen all the way up. And exhale, exhale, lowering the arms down. And this time we'll keep the arms just down alongside you, planting your right hand down to the floor, soften the elbow, and we'll reach that left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale as you reach up. And as you exhale, let's come into a nice side stretch. So you can take the gaze down towards that right knee. Or as you roll the gaze skywards, you can start to turn that chest up towards the ceiling, like a little tombola-like action, rolling the chest. Keep lengthening out through that left arm and keep the left sit bone grounded on the floor there. Lovely. When you're ready to inhale, come back through center. And when you're ready to exhale, we'll tick-tock that over to the other side. Just pause on that first one. Gaze might be down, spreading the hands into the floor there for support. And then maybe we turn the gaze, turn the chest. Keep that right sit bone grounded as you lengthen out through the waist. Lovely. Then we'll move with the breath. So inhale through center. Exhale as you tick-tock over to the right. Inhaling up through center. And exhaling other way. Let's do one more each way. Inhaling and exhaling. So again, it might be a big movement. It might be a much smaller movement. It really does depend on how you're feeling, how flexible we are. Yoga's for everyone. Let's reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And then we'll swing the hands behind you. That's coming up onto your fingertips. Your fingertips might be slightly turned out to the side, so you can press into your fingertips, lift the chest, and you get that lovely spreading of your shoulder, spreading of your collarbones as you imagine squeezing a little pencil between your shoulder blades. Lovely. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, just lean into your hands so you can change the cross of your legs. Or give your legs a little shake out if you have them outstretched. Lovely. Coming into a little twist. As you inhale, let's reach both arms up. And this time as you exhale, we'll twist to the right. So one hand comes in front of you and the other hand comes directly behind you. I'm going to stay up on my fingertips and that back hand is quite close towards me. So I'm not leaning back. I'm using that back hand almost like a second spine to keep me nice and upright. Gaze might be to the side wall. It might be over that back shoulder, whatever feels comfortable. Feel that lovely lifting through the chest as you inhale. And you might be able to turn a little more as you exhale. Let's bring the gaze back through center and reach up through the arms as you inhale, and take that to the other side. So right hand comes directly in front, left hand directly behind. Again, I'm going to come up onto those little tented fingertips so I can push down and just turn the chest and maybe the gaze towards the left, or even look over that back shoulder. Just make sure you're not leaning back, so that back hand is not there just to lean into. It's there as a little prop and support to keep the spine nice and tall. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly come back through center. As you inhale, reach up tall through both arms. Last time to circle the hands behind as you exhale, pressing the fingertips to the floor, broaden the chest. You can lift the gaze, but try and avoid throwing the head too far back. We don't want to compromise the neck there. Lovely. And then release. So we're going to find our way over onto all fours. So you might just bring your hands in front of you and roll over your feet. Or uncross everything and join us on all fours. Spreading your hands nice and wide so your hands are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. And just press down into your hands, roll your gaze forwards so you feel a nice length through the spine, like a tabletop. A little bit of work through your midsection, bringing your navel up towards your spine so you're not dipping your back there. Feel nice and supported. This next move is a great one just to work into the back and the front seams of the body. So we'll start to tilt the tailbone up. Now we can allow the belly to drop. Bring the chest forwards, chin stays parallel to the floor. And imagine again, you've got a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Lovely, it's called cow pose. Take an inhale there. And as you exhale, we reverse that into an angry cat. We start to round the back, navel up towards spine, dropping the gaze either towards your knees or looking up towards your belly button. Lovely, rounding through the back. We'll work between those two moves with the breath. So as you inhale, allow your belly to drop, tailbone to lift, heart comes forwards. And when you exhale, push into your hands and round the back. Lovely. You might even just close the eyes here so you can worry less about what it looks like and more about what it feels like to stretch and open some space between the shoulder blades and into the chest. Oh, let's do that once more. Beautiful. So let's come into that lovely angry cat, rounding the back. And keep that rounding through the back as you come into a child pose. You bring your hips down towards your heels and the arms stretched out long in front of you. And if that's not quite comfortable, you can stay on all fours, or you can get your little cushion and put your cushion between your bottom and your heels to give you a little bit of height there if you're finding it hard to sit back towards your heels. Let's see if we can extend the arms even further and take a couple of breaths there, breathing expansively into the back of the body and the sides of the body. You can always have your knees gently parted to create some space for your chest and your belly to rise and fall. And we're going to come into a little floor-based flow here. So keeping the arms out nice and long, let's come up onto all fours and keep shifting the weight forwards and down as you hug your elbows into the sides of the body, controlling that descent, bringing the chest all the way down to the floor, flattening the feet. You're going to lift up into a very low back bend, little cobra. The head might hang, or you might take the gaze forwards. Slowly lower all the way down. Push into your hands to find your way back onto all fours. And then hips come to heels back into that child pose. Let's do that with the breath. So inhale onto all fours, looking forwards. And as you exhale, shift the weight forwards and down, elbows skin the rib cage. Inhaling as you push the floor away into that cobra. Back onto fours as you exhale, back into child pose. Inhale, you can maybe come up with a rounded back. And exhale, imagine stretching your hips towards your hands as you lower yourself down. Inhale, push the floor away, begin to lift the chest up. And exhale back into that child pose. Let's do that once more. So get that sense of just moving with your breath. Elongating through the front of the body as you lower yourself very tenderly down. Using the hands to push against the floor on an inhale all the way back up. And then back into that child pose. Lovely. Let's find our way back onto all fours, getting ready for downward dog. Now, if you want to work from all fours today, feel free to stay on all fours. Or if you're with me, you tuck the toes and just begin to rock back and forth just a couple of times just to wake up through the fascia of the feet. Lovely. And then keep the shoulders above the wrists. We start to pick up the knees, just hover the knees off the floor, and then lift the hips up and back into a downward dog. So hips nice and high. This one is yours, so maybe start to stretch out one leg and then the other. Stretching the heel towards the floor and then changing sides as though you're pressing grapes there. Give the head a little shake. And allow the gaze to be either directly beneath you or maybe back towards your heels. And then settle into that shape, that big inverted V shape. So you might want to bend your knees and just press your ribcage back towards your thighs. Hips nice and high, so you're making a deep inverted V shape with the body. Arms in line with the sides of the body. Don't worry about your heels touching the earth. There's no great epiphany as and when they do. And then we'll shift the weight into your left foot and take the right leg up and back. Toes turn out ever so slightly, so you get a nice hip opener. Let's lift up onto the ball of that left foot. Get some height, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring that right knee to your chest and the foot to the floor. So if it doesn't quite get there, drop the back knee and help that foot out. As you inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, open the arms out nice and wide, elbows come down towards the waist. Let's do that twice more. So inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up. And exhale, draw elbows in towards waist. Lovely. Once more, inhale. And exhale, lovely. Let's sweep the arms up as you inhale. This time as you exhale, we'll bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Working with the breath, as you inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, we start to move the hips back, extending that right leg as the hips move back to the heels. Lovely. So as you inhale, we rock the weight forwards, chest opens. And as you exhale, we move the hips back. So you might keep a generous bend in that front knee and foot to floor or lift the toes. Let's do that once more. Inhale. Drop that left hip forwards. And as you exhale, we stretch out that right hamstring. Let's pause there in that little hamstring stretch. So make sure your hips haven't swung over to the left. Square up through the hips. Lovely. So if you want less, bend the knee, bring the foot to the floor. If you want a little bit more, right hand just cups your right foot and you might draw the toes towards you. Ooh, that'll stretch it out. Easy breaths. Lovely. If you're holding your toes, let's bring the foot to the hand to the floor. Bending that front knee, plant the right foot. Plant the left hand to the floor, and as you inhale, let's come into a twist, taking that right arm up towards the ceiling. Just make sure you've not popped that right hip out to the right. We've got the option to stay there or tuck the back foot under and lift that back knee, so you're opening some space there. Again, just draw that right hip in and back. Lovely. Let's look down as you bring both hands down, frame the foot. Begin to move the hips back and slide that right leg all the way up and back into a downward dog. And then slowly bring the foot to the floor. Drop down onto the knees. Flatten your feet and take that child pose, ready for that little moving flow. Inhale as you come up onto fours. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down, elbows in nice and tight. Inhale as you lift the chest. And exhale, push it back into that child pose. Once more, inhale. You can try coming up onto fours with a rounded back and stretching hips towards hands as you lower down. Beautiful. Push the floor away. Rise on an inhale. And this time as you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. So I'm going to try that little sequence on the left leg. So again, find that lovely height through the hips, that length through the back of the body. Just again, hugging navel up towards spine. This time we'll shift the weight to right foot and take that left leg up and back. So we might turn the toes out ever so slightly. Rise up onto the ball of that right foot, take an inhale, and as you exhale, step or help that left foot forwards, and we'll drop the back knee. You can pop a blanket or cushion underneath your knee if that's a little bit uncomfortable. Ready for that little lunge. So as you inhale, the arms sweep up. And as you exhale, draw elbows in and down, so you're opening up through the chest. Ready to go again. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Lovely. Once more, inhale. And exhaling. Lovely. So inhale, sweep the arms up. This time as you exhale, we'll bring the hands down to frame that front foot. So I'm going to come up onto my fingertips so I can keep my chest lifted. Try not to round the back. Let's take an inhale as you look forwards. And as you exhale, we start to move the hips back, straightening off through the front leg. Maybe this first one, you keep the foot to the floor. As you inhale, you shift the weight forwards, chest opens. And as you exhale, we rock back. You can start lifting the toes if that's comfortable. Lovely. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. So being kind to that hamstring, any pulling on the back of the knee or in your bottom, then gone a little bit too far, too soon. So when we hold that stretch, again, just recognizing those signs that the hamstring isn't happy, and bend your knee and soften that stretch a little bit. And conversely, if you want a little bit more, left hand wraps around the left foot and you draw the toes towards your face. You might feel that bite a little bit more in your hamstring there. I certainly can. Lovely. And then bending the knee, let's plant both hands down, plant the foot down. So this time the right hand stays where it is. As you inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling, turn the chest. Option to stay there or lift the back knee. Again, just making sure that that left hip hasn't popped out to the side. Draw the hip down and back. Beautiful. And then look down, bring both hands down. We begin to move the hips back, sliding that left leg all the way up and back into that little dog. Lovely. And then lower both feet to the floor. Option to drop down onto all fours and do that little flowing sequence we've been doing. Or if you want a little bit more, as you inhale, come forwards to plank, shoulders above wrists. And as you exhale, lower yourself down. Your knees might touch down first. Flatten your feet. Let's lift the gaze as you inhale into that cobra. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Now for your downward dog, have a little saunter forwards, walking your feet towards your hands, coming to the top of your mat. Lovely. And allow your knees to generously bend. You can cradle your elbows so your upper arms frame your ears. Have a very gentle rock from side to side if that feels nice. If that doesn't feel good, you can just bring your hands just onto your thighs so you're coming up more into a flat back if you don't like having your head lower than your heart there. Beautiful. And then very generously bending the knees, allow the arms just to dangle in front of you. Just slide the hands up the legs to your shins or your thighs, coming into a halfway lift, just like you're making a number 7 shape with the body. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, take the gaze forwards. Just bring your belly button up towards your spine, coming into that lovely flat back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bend the knees, allow the crown of the head to drop down towards the floor. Once more, inhale, slide the hands up the legs, shins or thighs. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale into that forward fold. This time we'll bend the knees, dangle the arms in front of you as you roll your way up to stand. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Just making yourself to the top of the mat. I'm just going to adjust my camera slightly so you can see what I'm doing there. Lovely. So just making sure that when you step back, you're going to be stepping back with your right leg first. So make sure that your right leg has got some room behind it. I'm going to mirror you now. Lovely. So just turn the palms forwards, finding that lovely position called mountain. So feel really grounded there. You might want to rock the weight gently back or forth or side to side until you find that balanced position. The weight evenly distributed between all 4 corners of your feet. Here we go. When you're ready to inhale, let's extend the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Bring the palms together. As you exhale, bend your knees as you fold all the way down to the floor. Crown of head to floor. As you inhale, find that halfway lift, come up halfway. And as you exhale, bend the knees back into that forward fold. Rise up to stand, sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Lovely. We're going to add on this next time. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale as you come all the way down into that forward fold. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. This time as you exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. You're going to step that right leg back, spinning your heel in and your toes face the long edge of your mat. Then looking forwards as you inhale, sweep both arms forwards and up. And as you exhale, we're going to broaden the arms out shoulder height. So front foot facing forwards, and the back foot, heel is in, toes face forwards. Lovely. Just take the gaze over that front middle finger. Just make sure you're not leaning forwards there. So we want the head in line with your heart, heart in line with hips. Beautiful. It's called Warrior Two. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. Just press into the outer edge of both feet. And then turning that front palm up towards the ceiling. Reach forwards as you inhale, and as you exhale, reach that left arm all the way up and back without losing that deep bend in the knee. Lovely. Reversing our warrior. Beautiful. As you inhale, come back into that warrior two, arms out shoulder height. This time as you exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Lovely. Let's do that once more. Inhale, reaching out. And as you exhale, tick-tocking that left arm all the way up and back. Lovely. Inhaling, arms out level with the shoulders. And exhaling, forearm to thigh. Lovely. Inhaling back into that warrior two. This time as you exhale, look down and tick-tock the hands down to frame that front foot. Pivot on that back heel so all 10 toes face forwards. Look forwards. And as you inhale, step both feet forwards to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Push the floor away, sweep the arms out and up as you inhale. And exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Lift your breastbone to your thumbs, feel that lovely openness through the front of the body. Do that with the left leg. So reach the arms down alongside you, palms up towards the ceiling. Big breath in to sweep the arms out and up. You maybe look up, choice is yours. Palms draw all the way down through the center line of the body as you hinge forward so you can generously bend your knees. Slide your hands up your legs, coming into that flat back, that number 7. As you exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down, and this time left leg, big stride back. Spin the back heel in, toes of that back foot face the long edge of your mat, front foot faces forwards. Looking forwards. As you inhale, begin to sweep the arms forwards and up. And as you exhale, let's open the arms into that nice, generous warrior two. So just check that your front knee is stacked over your ankle and that that front knee is rolling out towards the little toe edge of your front foot. Beautiful breath across your chest there as you widen out through the arms. Gazing over that front middle finger, let's turn the palm of that right hand up, and as you inhale, reach forwards. And as you exhale, reach that arm all the way up and back. Lovely. So you get a nice stretch through that right seam of the body. Inhaling, arms come out level with the shoulders. And as you exhale, forearm drops to thigh, and that left arm reaches up and over. Keep the chest nice and open. Lovely. Inhale, arms level with the shoulders. Keep bending that front knee as you exhale and reach all the way up and back. Lovely. Just once more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. This time as you inhale, let's bring both arms out level with the shoulders. And as you exhale, look down, hands down, framing that front foot. Pivot on the back foot, look forwards. And as you inhale, step both feet forwards, coming to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Big breath in as you sweep the arms all the way out and up. And this time as you bring the hands to the heart, just close the eyes for a moment. Find that sense of balance, bringing the breath back under that conscious control. Again, just feeling that lift of the breastbone to meet your thumbs as you inhale. And really bringing your awareness now into your feet, finding that grounding through the left foot and the right foot as we come into a little balance. Lovely. So just bring your hands onto your hips, blink the eyes open and then fix the gaze just onto a point on the floor in front of you. It isn't going to move. Pick up your right heel and just turn that knee out to the right, little pivot on the ball of the foot. So you might just rest that heel on the top of your left foot. You might rest the heel against the shin, little kickstand. Or if your balance feels a little bit more stable today, sole of the foot below or even above your knee. So wherever you are, keep the hips facing forwards, open that right knee out to the right, and then we'll all meet with the hands just at the heart. Lifting breastbone to thumb, just find that sense of focus. Balances are really good when the mind is very busy. Really helps ground us, bring us back to the present moment. So you can stay there, you can always hold on to a piece of furniture with that left hand. If you're feeling pretty steady and stable there, as you inhale, take both arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, circle the hands all the way back down to the heart. Lovely. And then we'll go the other way. So wrists draw down as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Lovely. So we can stay there, just holding for a couple more breaths. Just bringing the back of that right hand to your right inner knee or thigh. Let's reach the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale as you reach up, and as you exhale, come into a little side stretch over to the right. Whoa. Lovely. Inhale as you release. And exhale, bring that arm alongside the body. Other side, right arm reaches up as you inhale. This time as you exhale, keeping that right knee out to the right, take a little side stretch over to the left. Oh, and wibbly wobbly, embrace the wobbles. Inhaling, both arms lift. And as you exhale, hands to heart, foot to floor. Ooh, it's challenging on a carpet, guys. Have a little wobble out through the feet. So if you need to use a wall or a piece of furniture, no shame in that. Let's try that on the other side. So find that focus again. So your left leg is going to, your right leg this time is going to be your trunk. So really firm into that foot. And this time we pick up the left heel. Just pivoting on the ball of the foot, you can rest the heel on the top of the foot. Or use that shin as a kickstand or bring the sole of the foot above or below the knee. Choice is yours. Just making sure if you've got the foot above your knee, you're not pushing your hips out to the right. A little bit of resistance there to keep that leg super strong. Left knee open to the left, hands to heart, find your focus. One side might feel more challenging. Ooh. Lovely. No matter how many times we've been doing yoga, every time we practice, it's a little bit different. So again, you can stay here. Right hand just propping you up against a piece of furniture if you need to, or we can add that little bit of movement. So as you inhale, we take the arms all the way up. And exhale, big circle back to the heart. Ooh. Other way, so inhale, arms draw down and then out and up as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Now, if that's challenging enough, just stay there. Or for that little challenge, last bit, back of the left hand comes to your knee, your inner thigh. Right arm reaches up, inhale, really lengthen. And just make the movement really small. Take that little micro bend over to the left. Lovely, inhale through center. And exhale, release the arm down alongside the body. More challenging, left arm lifts, inhale, here we go. Can we do it? Yes. Exhale, little side stretch over to the right. Keep that knee squeezed open. Beautiful. Both arms lift, inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart, foot to floor. Timber, I fell out of my tree. Lovely. Let's come back down to the security of the floor. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And as you exhale, let's hinge forward from the hips, bend your knees so you can plant your hands and take 2 steps back into that downward dog. Step, step, hip side. Widening your feet this time. Lower your knees, keep your knees nice and wide. and then point your big toes towards one another and sit back towards your heels, sliding the arms out in front of each other, in front of you. So again, you can pop that cushion beneath your bottom there, if your hips don't quite reach your heels. Take a moment, back to the security of the floor. You can stay there with the arms outstretched. You can even bend your elbows and make a little pillow for your head if that feels comfortable. Or if you want a final little bit, left arm threads underneath right arm. So you're just coming down onto that left shoulder, turning your head just to the right. And trying to keep your sit bones glued down towards your heels. You might feel a little stretch in your left inner thigh. Easy breaths, little stretch between the shoulder blades. And then slowly reach that left arm in front of you, changing sides, so the back of that right hand, slides off the mat. Just ease your way down. Get yourself comfy. Try and keep both hips drawn back towards your heels there. Beautiful. And then slowly reach both arms in front of you. Lifting your chest, walk your hands back towards you so you can lift your chest. Point both knees forwards. Shift your hips to one side and just stretch the legs out, giving them a little bit of a shake there. Beautiful. So sitting up nice and tall, again, you might just want to pop something underneath you. Bring that right knee in towards the chest and stretch that left leg out nice and long. And just see if you can just use the hands there just to elongate through the spine even more. So you can keep that right foot where it is or cross it over your left leg. Lovely, bringing the sole of the foot to the floor. Left hand comes around the right knee. Right arm lifts as you inhale. And as you exhale, take a turn to the right and just bring the fingertips behind that right hip. Again, I'm up on my tented fingertips so I can elongate through the spine, coming into that little twist. You might hug that knee in towards your chest using your elbow, or keep your hand there if that gives you more space to breathe. Keep stretching out nice and long through the other leg. Slowly, let's release. Uncross the leg. Give both legs a little bit of a shake, and then we'll slide left heel in towards you. And again, you just use the hands around the knee to give yourself a little bit of traction there to lift up nice and tall. Foot can stay on the floor, or you bring the foot just onto the outside of that right leg. Left arm lifting. As you inhale, sweep the arm up, and as you exhale, circle the chest. Bring the fingertips behind that left sit bone. You can keep your hand on that left knee or just hook it with your elbow. Just trying to keep both sit bones grounded, get that lovely sense of space through the chest, length through the spine as you come into that little twist. So you can keep the head looking forwards, you can just look towards the sidewall. Some of you more comfortable in the neck might be able to take the gaze over that back shoulder. Easy breaths there. And then slowly release, extending both legs, giving them a little bit of a shake. Just pop a generous bend in both knees. Sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, lengthen the body forwards and down, your belly stretching over your thighs there. Walk your hands up your legs, rebuild the spine. As you inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, melt the body forwards and down. Once more, as you inhale, walk the hands back up the legs, lift the chest. Inhaling, reach the arms up. This time, as you exhale into that forward fold, and a hold there, so the knees might be generously bent. Some of you with more spacious hamstrings might have the legs a little bit straighter. Hands might be alongside your thighs, your shins, or some of you might be able to wrap your hands around your toes. Soften your gaze, or even better, close the eyes. Try and keep some length through the back. Easy with the breath. Smooth, steady breaths. Forward folds said to be a little bit more calming. And then keeping that sense of calm now. When you're ready, slowly, slowly rebuild your spine. Walk your hands up your legs. Bending both knees. Bring the feet to the floor. And ease yourself down onto your back. Give your knees a little bit of a squeeze. Hugging them in. Maybe a little massage. Roll side to side. Before you bring your feet down to the floor, bring the arms out level with the shoulders, palms up towards the ceiling. Keeping the knees hip width apart, take an inhale. And as you exhale, allow both knees just to drop to the right side. You might want to pick up your head and just turn the gaze over that back arm, that left arm. You can keep the feet and the knees a little bit apart. Or if that's feeling okay on the back, you can bring your knees and your ankles together and maybe scoop the knees up towards your chest a little bit more. That's going to bring the twist higher up the spine, so just be mindful of how that feels at the back. Easy breaths. If you're gazing over that back arm, let's bring the gaze back to the ceiling. And bringing both knees back to center. So just bringing the feet hip width apart, just realigning the spine on your mat. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, allow the knees just to drop effortlessly over to the left. Maybe chin rolling to right shoulder. So again, you can widen your feet, you can keep them hip width, or if you want more, the knees and the ankles are stacked. You scoop the knees up towards the chest a little more. Easy breaths there. Breathing into wherever you feel that twist. And then bringing the gaze to center. Bring both knees back to center, feet to floor. Straighten out one leg and then the other. And then reach both arms back above the head so you're coming into that delicious full body stretch. Reach the arms back, point the toes gently, and just take a couple of breaths there, breathing into that space behind you, the space above you. And then as we just come into a few moments of relaxation, you can, like a big snow angel, bring the arms all the way down alongside you with the palms up towards the ceiling, a little bit of space between your arms, the sides of the body. Just separating the feet hip width apart, maybe a little flip-flop of the feet in and out. Allow your heels to rest in, your toes to roll out, or if that's uncomfortable on the back, bring your heels back in towards you, keeping your feet wide, inner knees knocked together. Close the eyes. I'm just going to bring myself up to seated so I can talk you through a little breath exercise here to finish off, but staying down on your backs if that's comfortable. As we end the physical part of our practice, just begin to bring your attention more inward now, back to that awareness of your breath. As you focus your energy and your attention on your breath, just observing how the breath may become a little bit fuller and a little bit slower. And then once the breath has settled into that satisfying rhythm, just begin to observe the movement of the breath in the body. The body's involuntary response to each inhale and exhale. Rise and fall of your chest. A broadening and softening the back of the rib cage. An expansion and a release of your tummy and your waist. Feel the lengthening of your lungs with each ascent and each descent of your diaphragm there. And when you closely observe your breath, it's easier to observe the more subtle responses of your body now. And you might notice a softening of your eyes, a relaxation of your jaw, a softening of your face, a release of your fingers and your toes, smoothness across your brow, and space between your eyebrows. And just notice how the breath impacts on, or maybe even enhances, your relationship with the floor beneath you now. Softening on the exhale, allowing yourself just to hand yourself over to the support of the ground more completely. No need to grip or hold. And sensing or feeling that broadening of the back body, connecting you with your mat more fully. Being present in your breath, present in your body. Just give the breath permission to move as far and as deep into the body as feels comfortable. And knowing that you can stay there for as long as you want, just focusing on that expansion as you inhale and that contraction as you exhale, receiving and releasing each breath. When you feel ready to move, very gently just wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, maybe a gentle rock of the head from side to side, chin to shoulder. And then you might want to stretch back into that full body stretch, reaching out, stretching out their legs, opening up as you bring the arms back above the head. And then we'll all meet, just bringing your knees in towards your chest one last time. And you might want to linger there, just in stillness, or instinctively the body might want to move, rocking from side to side or back and forth. And then bring your feet to the floor and just roll onto one side or the other. It really doesn't matter which. And then come to a comfortable seated position. My little helper's come to join me. My cat Milou, come to say hello. Oh, I'm just doing a wonderful cat stretch here. So when you find yourself in that comfortable seated position, once more, just bring your fingertips to the floor alongside you. Gently press the floor away, really lift up and out of the hips. Here he is. You can pet your furry friends if one's joined you in your yoga practice. And then as you inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, draw the hands down to the heart, chin dropping gently towards your chest. And I thank you for all the wonderful work that you've been doing recently and looking forwards into the future. And I hope that you've got something from this practice and from your Wellbeing Week. Thank you very much. I'll just show you my little cat there if you're hanging around for a moment. So I have a very naughty Siamese cat. So this is my furry helper. He comes and joins me for my yoga practice every now and again, causing carnage and camera bombing whenever the opportunity permits. So from me and Milou, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the practice and that you're enjoying your Wellbeing Week. Well deserved. Thank you.